I have seen things that have caused me to worry and complain in a way that is not necessarily commonplace in my profession. And that's earned me recently a bit of a reputation as a radical, although to me nothing's changed. I'm just doing what I've always done, which is trying to be empirical, trying to look honestly at results of experiments and to learn from them. Unfortunately, I feel that a lot of what's gone on with information systems has not been based on empiricism and learning lately, but has turned ideological. It's a kind of a sweet ideology, but it still has all the problems of ideologies, of blinding people a little bit and making people feel sort of compelled to join into groupthink. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about how I perceive that happening, and then I'll try to wrap it a little bit into issues facing libraries, although I have to confess, I'm sure you understand much more about libraries than I do. In my previous book, You Are Not a Gadget, I talked about what I was worried about was a redefinition of what it is to be a person, and in particular how that relates to books. Books have had a variety of roles in our adventure as a species. Sometimes books have been used to codify groupthink, like with the Little Red Book, Mao's book, but they've also sometimes served to help define what we mean by personhood. Because an interesting thing about a book is that it had an author. It needn't have been that way. There have been books with fake authors or collective authors, as long as there have been books, more or less. And this tendency towards monomind, towards monoculture that can come out of network structures is really dangerous, really concerns me. So I'm concerned with what digital networks have done to personhood, to our sense of certain topics, to our epistemology. They've tried to turn everything into computer science, more or less. Everything is like this, whatever the network settles on must be true. Everything is an emergent statistical effect. Within that context, for instance, there's this idea that an article about the humanities should have a single canonical form without a point of view, that there could be some sort of collective point of view that has universal validity. And I think that that's just wrong. It's wrong morally and ethically, but also just technically. It's not actually feasible.